After making 6 figures in Forex trading and mentoring traders from all over the world, I noticed a pattern that tells me if you're a trader who will make it big or be like the others and just lose money. And the truth is, most traders don't lose money because they lack the right strategy. They lose because they make the same avoidable mistakes over and over again. And if you don't fix these mistakes, you'll burn out before you ever see success. You may have already made a mistake that cost you big. You're not alone. I've been there. I've made every one of these mistakes and I'm sharing them on this video now so you don't have to make them as well. And hopefully this video will save you years of time, money, and stress. So guys, I'm going to do something a bit different here. I'm going to take a book summary of a great book I really like. It's called Atomic Habits. You may have read it, you may have not. But the reason why I'm using this book is because it helps me translate what's in here of years of experience and what this video is about. And I want to try to give it to you in a structured framework. And maybe you can pick up this book, whether you're at the next bookshop or in the library or on a Kindle, however you choose to read. And you can start answering these questions and get clarity on where you want to be as a trader. So let me break this down. So the first thing is small change in direction adds up. Now, I'm a big believer in direction is king. Let me explain. We as traders are trying to decide whether we should be a buyer or a seller. And most newbie traders have the expectation that they're going to get up, find the best pair, find the best time to trade it, and going to make lots of money. And in reality, the expectation is their biggest enemy, and they don't get that. But what I mean by directions, right, and creating a habit is what if every week you know what is worth trading and what direction you want to be trading it. For an example, let me just go on a chart. Aussie dollar. So if I got a weekly chart here, what I like to do is just basically look at the weekly time frame and I want to put a vertical line. So this is this week to next week to the following week to the following week to the following week. So I've just got the next 4 weeks. So if I go down to a daily time frame and I say to you, hey, so far this is a new week. What's the direction of this week? Now you might look at this and say, hey, you know, based on my analysis, I want to be a seller. And week by week, you are creating a direction. You think the market might pull back and then following week continue down and the market might pull back. You're getting clarity on whether you should be a buyer or a seller. So in this case, now you know you want to be a seller. Your main aim in the next 5 days, right? And let me explain this. Okay. We are a seller on Aussie dollar for this week, right? So you got week 1, week 2, week 3. For example, and this week we're focusing on sells. If you break that down, I've got Monday to Friday, right, which is 120 hours to find a sell trade and to simply make a minimum of 1 to 2%, right, in that 1 week. And if we're making like 1% a week, basically, that can end up to 4% a month. Now, you'll probably say that's not enough, but think of this as a habit. Right? The reason I'm showing you this is when I started trading, all I could think about is where is the best trade? And I will spend lots of time trying to find that best trade and never trade. And then I had FOMO of not trading, and then I trade, and then I lose money. So just understand this. Small changes in directions add up. So if we can create a momentum of, right, every week, I want to know what's worth trading. So I need to have an analysis method to decide on what framework I'm going to use and whether I should be a buyer or seller on that particular pair. Your analysis will help you filter out what's worth trading. Once you get better at what's worth trading, your aim is to see if you get that direction for that week. That's it. Don't worry about the execution. The execution is the easiest thing you will learn, right? How to enter and exit is easy. Most people think that's the hardest part. That's the easiest part. Picking a direction is the real skill. And as we continue down, you need to focus on getting 1% better every day. Now, that doesn't mean you need to trade every day. You need to show up to the charts, follow your plan, which is, okay, I'm looking to be a seller on Aussie dollar, and I want to see if a sell trade unfolds based on this particular strategy, based on that time frame. So what you're doing, you're showing up. Doesn't mean you have to trade. And the more you do that in the next 30 days or even to 60 days, you will have so many aha moments because you're moving with the markets forward, not backwards. Most traders are always focusing on, you know, back testing is great. Yes, I'm not saying it's bad, But forward testing is the key thing. And I've said this before in other videos. Now, look, early progress is going to be invisible. So especially when it comes to trading, you might feel like you're not making any progress. You just keep seeing the losing trades. You keep getting stopped out, or the trade's going the opposite way. You're just frustrated and it is just painful. But like anything in life that you've once done and you've done it again, whether it's a sport or whether it's school or whether it's studying or a relationship, when you keep focusing and putting your attention on it with clear structure and clarity, it unfolds to be something really, really beautiful. So the consistency of your habits of a structure and being clear on your trading goals, right? And I know we haven't discussed a little bit like what's the best analysis method. Look, there's technicals, there's fundamental analysis, then you got your mindset, and then you got your risk management. There's so many ways. Right now, just take on what I've said so far. Is like, okay, what's worth trading this week? What's the direction of that market on that pair and why? And how am I going to organize myself, right, to get that trade? This is the biggest image I love seeing, right? Because what really happens is they want instant results in trading. Like, I mean, think about it. We've all done it. We learn something. We watch a YouTube video. We go to an educational course. And we're like, yeah, we've learned it now. Let's go for it. And everything you go, every time you start, right, it's just like getting punches in your face. I mean, think about it. It's like boxing, right? You learn how to go 1, 2. You step in the ring. You go against someone more experienced, and they're coming from angles. It's like, oh, dish, dish. And you're just like, where the hell are these coming from? Why is this happening? Your mind, your body, there's no synergy. Now, this is why I keep saying, think about your week, what you're focusing on why. Now, most people want instant results. What it really feels like is once it clicks, and I remember this when my mentor, I remember when I was young, he said to me, he goes, you're going to get aha moments when you least expect it. And I was like, just why am I not getting this? Well, I was learning some really advanced stuff about the markets when I used to be on the floor. And I was like, and he's like, you will. And I remember just, walking down one day and I was like, oh, shit, yeah, I totally get it now. And that's what happens there. Then the curve just goes to the upside. So remember, what we want, again, this goes back to expectations, bring your expectations down. If you don't bring them down, you're just going to have stress, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose time, okay? I will tell you a little bit more about my story, maybe in another video. So don't focus on goals, focus on systems. The goal is like, okay, I want to be financially free from trading. Yep, we all do. That's why I started. But what is the process? Because winners and losers are both focusing on that same goal, right? Everyone who watches a video or goes onto a trading course or reads a trading book has the same goal. They want to make money. But yet some are losing and some are winning. Now, the key difference is what their system. So think about when I started this video, like, what are you trading for the week and why? What's the direction, right? And how are you going to organize yourself for that week? Think about it. So again, go back to the charts. Here's Aussie dollar this week. If you're focusing on being a seller this week and you think the market's going to go from here to here, let's just say, so from there, that higher price to a lower price back down here. Let's just say you think the market's going to go there. How many ways do you think you can make money in that direction? There are loads of ways. That's why everyone's talking about trading strategies. There's trading strategies everywhere. You've got this terminology, you've got that terminology. You could just simply sell right now. But again, like I said, you can decide how much you want to risk and how much you want to lose. And this is where a lot of like the psychology kicks in because you might not have confidence. But if you got that direction right in that week, would you be happy? And if you got the direction right saying, oh, it's going to pull back and go back down, would you be happy? You will start developing confidence because that's what you need when it comes down to a performance sport like trading. So as we continue down, right, you don't rise to the levels of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems because big goals means great, we get motivated, but then we start falling back into those same habits. I mean, for an example, we can get distracted with our phones, where we put our attention on other people maybe because we care about them, and we start, getting distracted from what our key objective is to become financially free. And believe me, I know, I know these things happen. It's like the market, you move forward, it pulls back. But sometimes if you're not aware of this, your pullback becomes so deep, you're in negative, like you're losing trades. And we don't want to be like that. We want to be pulling back up. Even if we retrace a little bit, we are aware. We know that our system will help us pull back up because again, what is worth trading this week? What's the direction and how am I going to organize myself to make money in that direction? And that's why it's very important, again, why I'm talking about this is being exposed to people who have traded before. And that's the whole purpose of this video, is really, really get yourself exposed to traders who have done it, who've got the battle wounds, who've got the scars, who've got the pains. I mean, look at these eyes. They've cried so much. You know what I'm trying to say here. It's very important to say, yeah, education is good, but who you're getting your education from is very important too. This is something that really, really hit me. When I was in the trading journey, I would think, oh, it's all about the outcome. It's all about the outcome, but you have to change yourself. It's the identity. But once we break down, essentially what you're focusing on as a trader is to make a direction for the week ahead and how to organize yourself. You've now got a clear identity about yourself. You are a retail trader who is trying to speculate whether you should be a buyer or seller using a mechanical framework to analyze the trend so you can decide whether you want to be a buyer or seller. So then you can then move to the process, organize yourself throughout that week, maybe saying I am a 2:30 p.m. trader who trades the US session. And my process to do that is if the market does ABC, I will enter in that direction. And the outcomes are simply the results to your trading. I always say to people, right, when you get into the trading world is like, what do you want? Like, get clear. What do you want? Okay. What I mean by that is this. Do you want to trade every day? Yeah. I will say why. Most people think, yeah, the more you trade, the more you make. No, because every time you place a trade, you are risking money. All right, there's always a risk. And like I said, losing is part of this game. Okay, losing is part of this game. And you can make losses in this game, but you control how you make those losses. That's why we have stop losses. However, the more you trade, the more you're risking. There are risk management methods out there. If you want to be someone who trades a lot every day, but if you don't want to be someone that wants to trade every day, it's okay, right? I want you to think about what's your ideal week look like as a trader. Okay, just write that down and question it. Why? So the next thing we're going to focus on, again, changing your identity, which we just discussed about, is who are you, right? Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? So the biggest thing I say to a lot of people is you already are a trader. For example, you are all skilled professions at what you do, whether it's a sport, whether you work, whether it's a job, whether it's a business, it could be anything, right? You're skilled at something. Now, if you were to teach me how to do that, could you teach me that? And would you teach me the same way you learned it? No, you would teach me in a more effective way because you've gone through this. Same thing with what I'm doing with you right now. So first of all, I say to people, who are you? Where are your strengths? Are you in management? Are you good at business? I've coached nurses, I've coached doctors, I've coached students. You're studying. Where's your strength? Is it sports? Is it the way you talk? Because what that does is we can start formulating that to trading. So let's say someone is good at management. Okay, they're good at organizing their week. They're good at putting structure in place. Sometimes, though, they have cons. I mean, like engineers. Every time I coach an engineer, they seem to find the most complex way, or they try to beat the market. And I always say no. They come with these complex spreadsheets. I said, listen, all I asked you to do was just to look for a direction. And they'll have this 50-step checklist, lots of beautiful spreadsheets. And I look at them, I say, wow, they're very nice, but it doesn't make them a better trader. So what you want to do is try to find out where your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And the more you're breaking this down and you expose yourself to a trading coach, the quicker you can get to becoming more successful, because we as trading coaches can then identify what is the best part for you, or what is the best strategy for you. Now, again, belief. I don't know if you ever read a book by Dr. Bruce Lipton, The Biology Belief. I think 50% of it is belief. I think 80% of it can be belief. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe and trust in your process. A lot of people say psychology is 80%. The reason why I don't think it always is because you don't trust your system. If you trust your system, you won't second guess it. Do you trust yourself in making a decision? You trust yourself in getting up and getting yourself ready. You don't second guess it. You don't get out of bed and say, oh my God, am I getting out of bed right? You don't, right? How you use your phone, how you make a phone call. You don't question yourself. Oh yeah, but the market is a bit more complex. Yes, it is. But with the right education, the right exposure, the right framework, the right questioning, you can get to that success a lot more quicker. barriers. Your identity is a barrier. The key thing I want to talk about here is, you will identify things, you will think you make change, and instantly you will feel these brick walls. It's okay. It's normal. I used to feel it a lot. Okay. I felt it a lot. And I think, oh my God, this is not working. But again, just keep pushing. Right? It's like Tetris, right? Once you get in the pattern, you figure out you can take that brick out. You don't need this. You do need this. You don't need that. It will make your trading easier. Listen, let me explain to you. There are so many resources out there about trading. You'd think, right, someone must have it right. If you think about it now, 67,000 books on Amazon, billion hits on Google. Why isn't everyone successful at trading? It's them. It's you. And it's trying to take someone who's experienced, who's gone through the market, take where you are by qualifying all these questions. And I'm literally giving it to you on a plate right now. How you take this video is totally up to you. But you should take this and say, damn, this video can definitely take me where I need to get to. And I need to find the right resources to get there. Again, who do you want to be? And there's a habit, just looking at this image. What is this habit? So every week I analyze the markets, or I analyze a few pairs. So for example, a little exercise I have is I get traders to only focus on a few pairs, and I will say, what do you think is happening this week? And then what I get them to do, right? That's 1 bar a day, is I break it down to day by day like this: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then what I say is, let's go down to a 1 hour time frame and just follow it day by day. Just follow it day by day. So that was Monday. This is Tuesday. What do you think could happen Wednesday? And what were the best opportunities to be a buyer in this week? So look, you got the habit loop, right? So the cues, you got to understand what triggers you. What are your cravings? What distracts you? Is it your phone? Is it your loved one? Could be many things. Could be your children. Could be your work. Could just be your damn thoughts. But then you got to think about your response, and you got to think about the reward you're going to get for it if you stick to it. So look, let's write down this simple framework while we're here. Let's just break it down, okay? From here, I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And then you've got weekend, right? This is where you analyze. And listen, I'm not asking you to spend 48 hours. If you just pick 3 pairs as a beginner, right? Preferably with the majors, right? And you spend 1 hour and just decide what is the direction for the next week. And you decide whether you want to be an end of day or a morning trader. So an example might be like this: I come to the markets at 2:30 p.m. every day, right? Not to execute, but to see if the market's going in my direction, and I look to place a trade. And what it might look like is you might place a trade, don't place a trade, place a trade. And then the following week might be lose a trade, place, place, place. Then the following week is no trades, right? And that's what a normal week might look like. What most people think is they're going to be like, oh, win, 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 win. No, there's some days you don't trade. So look, I think, I've given you so much right now. But if you want to keep leveling up the trading game, check out this video on why 95% of traders fail. It's the perfect next step for traders who want to make 7 figures.